Well, let's head to Brisbane now and catch up with Michael Maxworthy, the analyst for Sky Racing. Maxie, a very good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Brenda. Well, that's a good tip. Tutakawa tomorrow, the half-brother to Melody Bell. So, yeah, I'll be there tomorrow. Look forward to seeing this colt in action. They tell me he's pretty smart. We didn't have the Doomben 10,000 Brendan 12 months ago because of COVID, but the year before, Tony actually won it with the Bostonian. So there's a lot of a Kiwi flavour with our carnival, and thankfully you guys are back this year.
Yeah, too right, and that can be said about the name of the race we're about to talk about in race number 6, and that being the Rough Habit Plate, who is a horse on both sides of the Tasman, but even more so probably in Queensland, is where the love is for Rough Habit. We want to talk about a couple of runners in the race. Seniltoba's the favourite at $2.90 and $1.32 out of the Chris Waller barn with James McDonald aboard off the back of a good win in the Packer Plate.
Yeah, Brendan, we've got a beautiful day here in Brisbane today. Just a little bit of dew. Soft 7 at the moment, should get to a 6, which is pretty important with this grey horse that we're looking at here. This is the Packer Plate, where he got up to beat High Supremacy, and I think the same will happen today. He failed the start before on a heavy track in Sydney, but he got much better conditions this day at Randwick, and Seniltoba races to the lead inside the last 100 metres and puts up a bit of a margin on High Supremacy. I think he's a lovely horse. Look, that's Randwick. We're looking at Doomben today, which is a much tighter turning track, and this grey was shuffled back to last in that Packer Play. So I just hope he gets luck in running, but going forward, I think he's certainly going to be very hard to beat on the bigger stretches at Eagle Farm in a few weeks' time. But I've clearly got him in on top here. Seniltoba to beat number 7, High Supremacy. I think they'll run 1-2 again in the Rough Habit today.
All right, then we'll move on to race number 7, the Doomben 10,000, the Group 1 over the distance of 1,200 metres. Every time I look at this race, Michael, it's pretty hard to get past the Guado with how the horse has got Group 1 form. The form lines are super strong, and hence why you're having to bet into a price of around $1.80 at the moment.
Yeah, he was $2.20 earlier in the week, Brendan, but punters have done the form. They've looked at this as a weight-for-age race, and I've sort of gone back to the Galaxy 2 starts back for him. This was a handicap at Rosehill where Eduardo led easily, turning into the straight, and he ended up finishing 7 or 8 lengths in front of Splintex and also Wild Ruler. Now today, he actually meets them around about 4 kilos better for giving them a toweling up on this particular occasion. This was 1,100, it's 1,200 today, but I don't see that as a problem at all for Eduardo. And of course, last start, Joe Pride believed that he left it all on the track that day, and it was only a 14-day backup at Randwick in the TJ where Nature Strip was breathing down his neck and was a little bit too good for him. But back to this race today, he goes straight to the lead. There's no high pressure on him, and he's expected to win. I think he can beat Splintex and Wild Ruler, and I'm putting in Vega 1 as the best chance for the locals.
All right, then we'll work around the multiples there with the Guado runner number 2, who is the short price favourite in the Doomben 10,000. Let's move on to race number 8 now. This is the Magic Millions Bright Shadow over the distance of 1,200 metres. Theory is the favourite at $3.20 and $1.50 with some money around Outback Barbie as well at 7s and $2.50 for James McDonald. Michael, I want to bring you in around a theory. This runner, the 4-year-old mare by Lonro, who is the favourite for the race, has got a good gate. James Cummings. We want to take you back to the run last time to the races, of course, first time of asking, and that was when beaten at Hawkesbury.
Yeah, but you'll notice here, Brendan, no clear running at all for her in the home straight. So she wasn't tested here first up. And I know if you're on her this day, you'd have been grossly disappointed. But from the point of view of today, she didn't have much of a run at all here. She would have gone home, eaten up, still a little bit on the fresh side. I love her here, 1,200 metres around Doomben. She's got a terrific barrier where she can sit right up on the pace. And I think she'll get a chance to bounce back into the winners list. At the end of her last campaign, we saw her at the Gold Coast on Magic Millions Day. She was run down in that Fillies and Mares Classic there by Crone, who came out to win a Group 1 in Sydney. So all of the form around her theory is very good. I'm putting in Moutsy for Toby and Trent Edmonds at the Gold Coast. A little bit stiff not to win first up. Intrepidatious can go forward to offset that awkward gate. And the one that can certainly win it with any amount of luck at all is Outback Barbie. I think she's going to be going through the broodmare sales shortly. So this is her track today. She certainly has the ability, but the alley is nasty. So I'm going with the speed mapper, the one that's likely to get the best run in a theory.
Well, before we let you go, Maxie, we need to know what's the one that we can really pin our hopes on today out of Doomben. What's the one you're really liking?
Well, I'm loving 2-year-old racing, in particular at this time of the year when they're almost 3 and Chris Waller's putting the polish on them. He's got Giannis lining up in race 5, number 4. He's a lovely horse. He could go to the Sires and then the JJ Atkins. I think 7-2 Eduardo, straight to the lead, and I don't think he'll be for catching. And then that one in the last theory, race 8, number 3, with no luck last start. A good bet on an each-way basis is the local, the Tony Gollan runner, in race 3, number 7, Paladas. I think was about $11 last time I looked.
And what about the quaddy? There'll be a lot of interest in the late quaddy, as there always is, coming up out of Brisbane. How do we attack that, Michael?
Well, the first leg, which is race 6 on the program, we're putting 8, 7 and 1. I'm just going a little bit bold. I don't usually like doing this, but I've got to trim it up a little bit. Number 2, Eduardo, only in the second leg. And then they're very open, the last 2 races. 3, 13, 10 and 4. And then 10, 3, 11, 7 and 8. I'm really warming up to Superior, number 10 in the last race. It was an entry for Sydney today at Rose Hill, but they've elected to withdraw there, concentrate on the last race, Superior. So that's my look at Doomben 10,000 day, Brendan.
Well, as always, Michael, thanks for your time. We look forward to your coverage on Sky Thoroughbred Central here in New Zealand on trackside, and all the best today.
Thank you for that. Bye-bye.